Huh? Can you see me?
I can, and I can hear you now, so that's a good start.
Amazing. No,
Bit less late.
I've just hit the live button.
Ah,
Um, so I wasn't sure really what to do. So I suppose we are live now. Um,
no
or
swearing.
I only did it on Facebook. So this is my little test. Hi and good morning. Thank you very much for joining me. My little test drive. So hopefully this is going to go well. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, bit rushed this morning. I got out of bed late, so that wasn't a good start.
Oh, did you?
And then knock on then, breakfast, gym, school run, everything was late. And then I got
Oh,
back here, and there was a builder here quoting us for some work, so
oh
uh,
yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, thankfully I didn't have to do any school run today because my partner did that.
oh,
I'm
good.
just checking on Facebook if we can. Oh yeah, we're definitely live on Facebook. Oh, my
Get
little
stage
test
fright
drive
now.
here. What's that?
Get stage fright now.
Yeah, I am. Right, just to give you a heads up, my hand, I was tightening up my little boy's car seat belt, and my wrist just went click. Um,
Oh,
so we ended up going to a walking center. It's not broken. It just hurts. It just really hurts.
so oh, well, I've lost your tab now. Yeah, so you've sorted out what it is now, because I saw you last week and you had the bandage
Yeah,
on.
it was playing up for ages, but yeah, on Monday I just did it. It just
Oh, new
I've just
injury.
done it. Yeah,
Oh,
same
okay.
wrist, but I've just literally knocked it off. It's just
Oh,
so close to breaking. I think I'm quite lucky, but no, it's all right. It's okay. But anyway, yeah. So thank you very much. Hi everyone. I don't know if anybody's going to watch this. Hopefully, somebody will. I'm hoping for somebody from LinkedIn will be coming in, Facebook. And yeah, we're just here to raise awareness about cybersecurity. And I've invited Justin Thomas to talk to us about it. So, Justin, can you tell us something about you and what you do and why you do it?
why I do it? Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I do. Somebody once told me to say was I keep your naked selfies off the internet, which is meant to be an attention-grabbing headline, but it's not one I'm ever comfortable with particularly. Yeah, so I basically help small businesses, so medium-sized businesses, stay safe from the effects of cybercrime. And the reason I do it is because I think they need it. You know, there's a huge amount of small businesses out there, even and you know, especially one-person businesses who think that because they're so small, there's no risk to them. They have nothing to protect. The risk is absolutely minimal.
Hmm.
But the truth is, you know, every business has got something to protect, whether it's your customer list or your usernames and passwords for your services, that you know, like your online banking, your accounting systems, and all sorts of things like that. Email. Yeah, so I'm trying to sort of work hard to get the message out there and get people to take note of their. I'm losing the plot, you know. Yeah, to take control of their cybersecurity basically, and make sure that
Yeah.
yeah, that they're not going to become the
So,
next victim.
so do you reckon that everybody really needs it, even one man band?
Absolutely. Everybody does need it, but what they need is going to be different. You know, a one-man band will have a much smaller list of things to do and a much smaller bill for doing it than a bigger company. It's much easier to keep things under control if you can keep yourself up to date than keeping an entire network of computers and staff that you can't monitor 24/7.
Hmm.
Things like policies and procedures, which are really big help in telling people how to behave and how to react to situations in your business. If it's just you, you don't really need a written policy. You just need to know what to do in certain circumstances.
Okay, so what's the for a one man band? Because a lot of our clients are small companies, either sole traders or somebody who's in their first or second year of their business. So, what do you think would be the bare minimum that they'll have to do?
So use encryption on your laptops.
Mm.
Um, Turn your firewalls on. They're not always on, especially Apple Mac users. They're not on by default. Use a good quality antivirus, so not necessarily something you'd get for £50 from PC World, but something that's actually meant for business use. And
Okay.
probably the other thing is the cheapest one of all is to use strong passwords and turn on two-factor authentication everywhere that allows it.
Because you said that your password is like 25 characters or something.
I think it's about 32 to 36. Yeah,
Oh my goodness!
one of them
So
anyway.
the longest, the better. So
It's
strong.
a bit extreme.
Yeah, but I mean, if it works, if it works, if it keeps you secure, that's what it takes, really.
It was
So
trying to find a sort of balance between having a complex password and having something that I could easily type, because
yeah,
I've been given passwords in the past when I've gone to work for big companies, places where they set you up with a default password, and it's it might be 10, 12 characters of uppercase, lowercase, numbers, letters, and symbols. You can't possibly remember those passwords. Typing
exactly.
them is an absolute nightmare. So what I did is I took like a lyric from a song, a line from a song, and I used that. I mean, I added in a little bit of uppercase, lowercase into it in places that made sense to me, but it means that it's natural to type it, so it makes it a lot easier then to, even though it's 32 characters, I can get it right. Probably 8 times out of 10, I get it right. So
Yeah,
sometimes you get a fat fingers, incident, but
yeah,
yeah, but that's only my password then for, say, my password manager, for example. I don't use that same password for anything else. So
yeah,
there's about maybe 5 or 10 passwords that I actually remember. Everything else I store in LastPass, basically.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're talking about what it is roughly, and why is it important? What do you think you need really to be 100% protected?
I don't think you can be 100% protected, but
Okay.
what you can do is make yourself, maybe 80% better protected than you are now. Nothing's ever going to be 100% secure. The only
Yeah.
secure computer is a turned off computer that's not connected to anything. And, even then, you're not secure from somebody breaking into the room and stealing it. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
there's
Yeah.
always going to be a way if somebody's determined. But the truth is that most of the sort of the attacks that people suffer in small businesses are going to be sort of accidental ones, where you're found by somebody who's looking for somebody else, or somebody who's scanning a big range of addresses, or somebody who's got a big list of email addresses and they're just emailing out links to everybody and seeing who bites. Because if you can spend £5, £10 on a list of 1 million email addresses, and you email all those
Yeah.
people, you only need a handful of people to respond for you to actually make your money back and make a profit.
Yeah.
So if you can get 10 people out of 1 million to click on your ransomware link and you take control of their systems, then it's a business model at the end of the day.
Yeah. Okay. Um. So can you help with all the firewall and antivirus? Because the only I mean, me included, when I started my first business, I was like, okay, let's go to PC World and let's get the antivirus and let's search online if there is anything cheaper. Because obviously you tried to find a bargain, but like you just said, it's not necessarily what you actually need. It's either for personal or for business, and I don't think many people are actually aware of it. So could you be the go-to person for this sort of stuff? Do you do that?
Yeah, so I essentially so I started out looking to take care of businesses, say maybe 10 plus users. So I came up with packages for that. But during lockdown, what we found was that the majority of people we were networking with, just like on calls like this, were kind of much smaller businesses. And I kept telling everybody, I'm probably not in the right space for you guys. Yeah, so maybe a month and a half in, I sort of realized, counted up all the lost business I turned away and figured I could probably adapt my package for smaller businesses as well. So I came out with a separate package that gives the small one-man band businesses
Okay.
the same level of protection that the bigger
Oh,
businesses
brilliant.
have. So basically what you get is an antivirus, which is a corporate grade antivirus, which is monitored centrally. So anything that happens on your computer sends a notification to me so that I can investigate it and put it right. But it also allows greater control as well. So whereas your normal antivirus will block certain things and you'll have some controls on your system for it, I get much deeper controls over what you can and can't do, so we can work together
Yeah.
then to find out what's the right balance of protection. It can do all sorts of things, aside from blocking viruses and ransomware. It can do things like protect you from visiting malicious websites and things as well. So there's a huge amount of things it can actually do, and even control the applications which are allowed and not allowed to run on your system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much are we talking for the basic, or is there like a from price that people could kind of have it in their mind, or is it purely customizable?
It's a little bit customizable, but at the basic level, so the package comes with Office 365, it comes with the antivirus, it comes with an hour of my time a month to look at issues and help you tune up your system. So with that comes in at about £60 per month per computer per person.
Okay.
Where it gets complicated is where one person's got two computers, because you don't need two lots of £60 for one person with two computers. So
Yeah.
there is a variation. Some people will already have bought Office 365, and so there's a
Yeah.
variation to take that off the price. So yeah, give or take, it's about £60 a month though.
Okay. Okay. Is that like any sort of one-off sort of package that you do?
Not a one-off package for
Setup.
this sort of thing, because once this is an ongoing thing then. So if you have your Office 365, it needs, you need to pay for that every single month that you want to use it. And the antivirus, the same sort of thing. It's a
Oh yeah,
subscription
of
model.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, so I bundle the whole thing up so you get a full service, and then that way if you need my help throughout the month, you don't have to think about it. You know that you've
Yeah.
got some time allocated. You can pick up the phone and ask me any questions. So yeah, I tend to, for the clients who don't use their hour in the month, I tend to pick up the phone with them at least once a month and catch up with them and see what's bothering them. What they might need some guidance on, or just have a friendly chat. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's usually something that can be done, that can help them in a little way. So a good example is this week now, I've got a couple of clients on it. They haven't needed anything from me in the month, but there's a few improvements I can make to their email security. So I'm going to look at sort of tightening up their spam filters and things and stop less of the rubbish getting through to them.
I see. I see. So you potentially do it. It all comes with cybersecurity as well as really IT sort of troubleshooting. It's not just cybersecurity. It's not just security that you
No,
offer.
that's right. Yeah, because what I was finding, especially in the area, because I'm based in Southwest Wales, and when I was talking to local businesses here, most of them don't really care about the security. They don't understand enough about it. They don't differentiate cybersecurity from IT support.
Yeah.
So I brought the IT support element into it and figured what I do is make security my USP. So when a client comes
Yeah.
on board with me, the first thing I do is get them, that to that level up of security. So we make sure that all their encryption's enabled.
Yeah.
We make sure they're using the right sort of, that they have those password managers in place, and that they, store their documents in the right place, that they've got backups and things. So we kind of spend, maybe 2 hours right at the start, just getting everything up to a decent level for them.
Yeah.
And then ongoing after that is maintenance then.
Yeah. No, that's actually really good because I know when I first started, I'm just like, right, I've got laptop, I've got PC World security, and I've got some antivirus, and then suddenly something went wrong, or it was going really, really slow, and I'm like, right, now what? Like, who do I call now? And I know that we had there was a PC shop on a high street here in Staple Hill, and yeah, I sort of gave it to him, and then he needed a week to keep it to sort of repair it, and then it was costing me £70, and then I got it home, and it still wasn't quite where I needed it to be. It still wasn't quite there, so I had to bring it back and all of that. So yeah, no, it's really, I think for startup businesses, it's really good to have a point of contact for that sort of thing, because like you said at the beginning, a lot of IT specialists are more specializing for like bigger companies, 10 employees plus or users plus, because there is just not enough, I guess, work or money. The business is just not quite there for small businesses like myself a couple of months ago. So yeah, having package like this, I think, that make you quite approachable and very unique for little one-man band companies.
That's it. So I'm keen on like sort of making it a partnership as well. So I suppose I'm different to a lot of IT people, not all. I mean, some will be very much like me, but I'm really, really into business as well. So I'm really into learning about what my clients' businesses are about and what their goals are. So I try and sort of give them advice and guidance and around how they can use technology or what technology they need to get them to their goals more quickly. And in terms of the actual support side of the package, all that's monitored as well. So anything that's going on your computer during the month, I get notifications of errors that you're receiving with
Oh
applications
my
and things.
goodness.
So the idea
I wish
is,
I had known you 3 years ago. I have to say. Okay, so we've talked about I've got quite a few questions, so I'm just, before we go on going through it, we talked about that. Right, so if somebody, just going back to the cybersecurity or even IT, I suppose, but I think cybersecurity will be the the core of it. What's the worst, other than your laptop being stolen? What's the worst that can happen to someone if they're not protected properly?
I think probably ransomware would be probably the worst thing, because you would effectively get locked out of all of your data. And you think about, if you're using like typical micro business, you're probably using your same computer for your personal stuff as your work stuff. So you're going to have all your photos stored on
From
there, family
accountancy
photos.
perspective, I hope not, but I know a lot of people do that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, ideally, yes, you would keep complete separation. I was writing a blog post yesterday about how you should, if you're working from home, separate your home network, with your TVs and your smart speakers and your,
Yeah,
whatever iPads and things away from your work stuff, because it's possible to separate the two networks. And I think it's the best way to do it is complete that separation, because some of these
yeah,
devices at home, they don't get updates and things all the time. So it could be a really easy way for a hacker to get into your network. It could be through your television or your fridge or whatever it is that you've got attached to your network.
oh
Um,
yeah, I heard about fridge being connected to a Wi-Fi.
Even kettles and toasters, believe it or
Oh
not.
my goodness.
Yeah, I went to a cyber event in London a couple of years ago, and they were doing a live demonstration of hacking a kettle to get onto your Wi-Fi and basically take over.
No
So
way.
yeah, it's
Oh, that's
something
scary.
to be aware of. Yes. So yeah, if you think you've got those things on there, you've got your personal banking details, you've got your shopping, your credit cards, and everything on there. You've got your family photos, videos, all sorts of really crucial stuff. The amount of times I see somebody on Facebook saying, "I've lost my phone, or all my photos on it. Can you give it back to me? If you see it." And I think if you've got all the photos on there from your child from the day they were born, and that's the only place you've got them, you need to do something better with your
Yeah,
your technology.
back it up.
That's it. So if you've got and that's the other problem then. So if you get, you've got your laptop, all your photos on it, even if you're backing it up to another device on your network, if that
Yeah.
thing is online, the ransomware can spread, so it can
Mhm.
infect your backups as well. So you need to take offline backups. Have that USB disk that you sometimes plug in, copy the files, and then put in a cupboard so that it can't
Yeah.
be affected.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Question for you, because Stepping Stones Accountancy, I mean, we pride ourselves on data protection. Our clients, whoever signs up with us, that they've got their own platform and they've got control over what data we hold for them. If they need to update their address, they can just go in. There is no emailing about it. They can just go in and update it. We use Dropbox for all our files. So potentially all our systems are based online. And I'm kind of starting to feel that a lot of people now during COVID, especially if they are a team of, say, up to 3+, that they've all gone very much online, that they're going away from Drive and saving things on their computer and they go online, whether it's Google Drive or Dropbox or anything like that. What would you recommend, or what are your thoughts about security for those sort of businesses?
I think again, it comes down to passwords and two-factor authentication mostly. Funny enough, I'm doing another thing today. This afternoon, I'm writing a presentation about how to secure your online storage that I need to do for another organization. But basically, it comes out that, right? Have unique passwords for all of your systems. Don't share the passwords with anybody. And if you've got that multi-factor authentication option, so you can have that code that
Yeah,
gets texted to your phone, or the app that generates new codes every 30 seconds, if you can have that in place, it means that you're going to be protected far better. Yeah, because one of the biggest sort of things, somebody last night on my Facebook had been compromised. So their Facebook account had been hacked because they didn't have, say hacked, it wasn't really hacked as such. They guessed his password or got to know it somewhere. But it was only his Facebook account, but he uses his Facebook account for business use in terms of like managing his business page and doing his
yeah,
advertising and stuff. So they've
yeah.
gone on there, set up another advertising account within his Facebook account, spent £1,400 on adverts in another country, straight
Ouch.
out of his business bank account. Yeah, so again, he could have stopped that by having a unique password, presumably a good, strong, unique password. And if he'd had the two-factor authentication on there as well, they'd have had to have had access to his phone in order to get access to his
Hmm.
Facebook account as well.
Okay.
So if you turn that on with your Dropbox, it's going to make it much harder for somebody to get into your Dropbox. The only other thing to remember then is things like, shared folders and things like that. Who have you shared the folders with? Have you left a folder shared once somebody's, found they don't need it? Say somebody doesn't need the access to that folder anymore, but you haven't deleted their rights. Can they come back in 2 years' time and still get access to the data that's in that
Access.
shared folder? Yeah. So
Okay.
just keep a list somewhere.
How would you go about with the two-way, excuse me, with the two-way authorization then? Does it cost anything, or that's how
No,
little I
no.
know about these things?
Yeah, no, it's a free thing. It's available on most platforms now. So I mean, I would normally start with your email account, especially if you're on Gmail or Office 365 or something like that, because you think of all the things that come back to
Mm.
your email account. So like again, if I got access to your email account now, would I then be able to go to Dropbox and put in your email address, click on forgot password, and have an email sent to your email address that I would pick up to reset your password for Dropbox? And suddenly then I can change your password on your email to lock you out of that. I can change your password to your
Yeah.
Dropbox to lock you out of that. And bit by bit, I can take over
Yeah.
your entire business or your life.
Yeah.
So turning that two-factor authentication on means that I still would have to have access to that as well.
That. Yeah.
So you can either have, they'll normally give you an option of either texting you with a code to your phone number, or you have an app called, you can either use Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, or there's a number of different apps like that you can use, but they all work on the same premise. You get like a QR code on the screen, you scan it, and then it syncs up with your phone then.
Okay. Oh my goodness, there's so much to it. You've given us some really good tips as well. No, I've made a note quite a few things, but obviously this is going to be recorded, so it's going to be accessible there for everyone to watch, and I'm going to be sharing it on YouTube as well. So hopefully there will be more exposure, and I really, really hope that people are going to take this to their heart and just really protect their businesses, themselves, their pictures, family pictures, holiday, and all of that. But obviously, we're not here for holiday pictures. We're here for customer security, really, and their data.
Yeah.
It's very important. From accountancy perspective, everybody needs to keep their customer data or their data when it comes to things like that for up to 7 years. So obviously the storage that you'll need might be either very small, depending how big the business is, to quite big if you are a fairly big business. Because if HMRC does come and have a little look around, nose around your accounts, and you haven't got it, there will be quite heavy penalties. So, oh my goodness, thank you so much, Justin. If you are able to, if you're happy to share the blog you were talking about.
Because I've got one on there as well about two-factor authentication. It contains a lot of links to the main two-factor authentication sites that the help pages for those. So like take you straight to the page for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all those different ones as well. Dropbox.
Would you be happy to share this in the comments, the links, or send it to me and I'll add to it, whichever. Either linking it to me or whichever is easier. But that would be really, really helpful. Thank you ever so much.
No problem.
Yeah, oh my goodness, my head is absolutely buzzing, I have to say. Next week we're doing another live, and I'm actually having a specialist for R&D, research and development, coming in. So they'll be talking to us about what people can claim, what unique things they can be doing, and claiming extra tax on that. So that's still coming. So if you doing any R&D, developing any products, any services, tune in next week, same time. But thank you ever so much, Justin, for your time and for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you for having me. It's been good.
All right, I'll catch up with you. What's that?
The face might not be saying it, but it's...
No, you're all right. Brushed over your feet. You can go and have your cup of tea now.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, Justin. Bye for now.
Bye.
Right, what do I do now? I think I'm going to remove you, so you might just be gone. Bye. Right, hi everyone. I think I'm still recording. This was my very first StreamYard. I hope we delivered. Looking forward to next week. Like I said, I'll be talking to a specialist from research and development. I had quite a few customers asking about what they can or can't claim, or that their accountant hasn't necessarily been proactive enough to say that whatever they're developing, looking through the expenses, that they could potentially be actually claiming through R&D. So that's something I'll be looking at next week. And so anybody tune in, let me know. It will be again on this main page, and it'd be really nice to see you. Keep the questions coming. I'll be asking them next week. And hopefully this might be a weekly thing. So I'll be lining up a few more speakers for next week. So have a lovely, lovely Wednesday. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now.